Greetings, Mech Warriors, and welcome to the best starter mechs for new pilots. This is episode 3, where we discuss medium mechs, the best medium mech for new pilots in Mechwarrior Online. I'm RJ Base, and this is a video series that I've been working on for a few weeks now. This is actually the third video in the series. Last week we went over the best heavy mech for new pilots, and the week before that we went with the best assault mech for new pilots. Now I'm doing this video, this YouTube portion of the video, a little bit different. Normally the YouTube videos have been edits that have come straight from my Twitch stream, which is at twitch.tv/rjbase3. However, during yesterday's Twitch stream, I was extremely hungover, had a pounding headache that I just could not get rid of all day. That stems from my Friday stream that I do. Every Friday we do the MWO Happy Hour show, me and a bunch of other players and my co-host Nutty Rat, who can be found at twitch.tv/nuttyrat. We do a lot of drinking and just straight community drops. Everybody's welcome to join us and participate in those drops. And sometimes I drink a little too much. And then yesterday during the the best starter mechs stream, I was just a little hungover, so I decided to redo it today on Sunday, at least this portion of it, so that hopefully the brand new players out there who are watching these videos get a little something more out of it. I also wanted to redo it too because one of the complaints that I've been receiving on the MWO forums is that the videos are too long. I've basically been taking 2-3 hour long streams and cutting them down to about an hour long, and for some people that was still too long. So I thought today I would redo this portion of it, cut out a lot of that fluff that didn't need to be there, and just get straight to the point for what the community feels is the best medium mech for a brand new pilot. Now, with the assault mechs, the community and I differed in our opinions. I thought with the assault mechs that what the mechs the community picked were extremely too difficult for a brand new pilot to get into. And let's be clear, no new pilot should start with assault mechs. It's a very tough weight class to learn and to get right, and it's also a very expensive weight class to get into. It's always recommended, at least by the majority of the community, that brand new pilots start with heavies and mediums. But we still did the best assault mechs for new pilots because, you know, despite what I say and what the majority of the community says, there are going to be those brand new pilots who are going to step into an assault mech for the very first mech regardless. So I felt that video still needed to be made. But now we are at the best medium mech for new pilots, and no, it is not a crab. 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, I put a calling out to the community on the MWO forums and on various Twitch streams that I wanted the community's opinion. I was going to collect all that data and present it to you, the viewers, so you could see how the community voted, how the community went. This was a community effort. Last week when we did the best heavy mech for new pilots, I fully agreed with the community. I thought the community made an excellent pick. Like I was saying earlier with the assault mech, I didn't quite agree, but I still went over the community's picks for the assault mechs, and I also put in my own picks there. Last week didn't need to do that because community and I totally agreed the Hellbringer is the best heavy mech for a brand new pilot. And in my personal opinion, it is the best starter mech, period, regardless of weight class, for a brand new pilot. But let's say a new pilot goes through all their new cadet training bonuses and the academy, and they decide that they kind of like the speed, agility, and play style of mediums better. Well, as the community will tell you, mediums and heavies are the best mechs for new pilots to get into. So let's look at what the community feels is the best medium mech for a brand new pilot. And there it is. Might even be able to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. That's how the community voted. This is what the community says for the best medium mech for a new pilot. There were Kentaro, Shadowhawk, Shadowcat, Phoenix Hawk, Nova, Cicada, and Crab each received 1 vote. The Stormcrow and Viper both received 2 votes. The Hunchback 2C came in with 3 votes. The Assassin, which was a big surprise to me, only got 4 votes. The Innosphere Hunchback and the Huntsman both got 5 votes, and then the Bushwhacker, an overwhelming lead there with 13 votes. The Bushwhacker. What was even more curious though, like when I looked at the community's pick for the best heavy and the community's pick for the best assault, and both of those, they broke down the individual variant for that mech much more closely. For example, on the Hellbringer, community overwhelmingly said the Hellbringer Prime because it comes with that ECM side torso. With the assault, the community really liked the Mad Cat 1 with dual gauze, dual ER large lasers, and dual ER medium lasers. Those were standouts in both of those categories. However, when it came to the medium mech and the Bushwhacker, there wasn't really a whole lot of standout there. Here, I'll show you guys. This is how the community voted for the individual Bushwhackers. And as you can see, the community was pretty hype about any of the Bushwhackers. The community, at least the people that voted for the Bushwhacker, really felt that it didn't matter which Bushwhacker you got. It was going to be a really good mech for you. Now, I don't fully disagree with the community here. I don't know if I fully agree with them either. That's why I'm just going to go ahead and keep this about the Bushwhacker, because the mechs that I like as mediums, the mechs that I play as mediums, are more niche mechs that fit my particular play style or competitive play or what have you. The type of mediums that I usually play, you don't tend to see as much, but that's just me. That being the case, and knowing that the mediums that I like to play are definitely more niche mechs, I decided to continue going with what the community said here. And on the stream, when we discussed this, I went through these 3 individual variants, the X1, the X2, and the P1. After playing these 3 mechs, I did all 3 of these mechs for multiple drops. There was one that actually stood out the most to me. I'm going to turn this off. Go to my select mech here. And I'm going to pull out the X1. Switch to this screen so you can see it better. And actually, I'm going to turn on this. Yeah, there we go. So there, now you can actually see it quite a bit better. I tried, oh actually it wasn't this X1, it was this one. I have 2 X1s. I have the special variant and I have the regular variant, but I was playing with the regular X1, or the X1, and out of the 3 variants that the community picked, P1, the X1, and the X2, the X1 was the one that I honestly had the most fun with. It was the one that seemed the most versatile to me, and it was the one that I did the best with. In the past, the Bushwhacker that I've used the most has been the P1. This is my build for the P1. It does nearly 100 kph, has a bunch of SRM4s, decent heat management. The main thing about it is its agility, its armor and structure, and all that splat. Now, I really only use this in comp drops, particularly MRBC Drop 1. It was one of the main mechs that I played during Season 10 and I believe Season 9 of MRBC. For those of you who don't know, MRBC is the longest running user-ran competitive league in MWO, and probably the most popular. There's a lot of teams that compete in that, a lot of different divisions, from the beginners division all the way up to the pro divisions, where, you know, Division A, where you find teams like 228 Blackwatch, Imperial, etc. MRBC is a lot of fun, and the way that the drops are structured, in Drop 1, you can only do light and medium mechs. You can only have one duplicate. So seeing the Bushwhacker in Drop 1 of MRBC is actually pretty common. And this particular one was the one that I used to run if I was called upon to use the Bushwhacker. It's a good mech, but it's a missile mech. With the P1, depending on what kind of pilot you are, you can start off with Lerms if you so choose, and switch to SRMs later. You can put MRMs on it. It does have one energy hardpoint and one ballistic hardpoint, so really your focus should be on the missiles. This is a missile mech, but if you're going to do a brawl thing with the Bushwhacker, SRMs all the way, hands down. It is a very fun mech. It's very tanky. All the Bushwhackers. The reason why the community picked the Bushwhacker is because of their tankiness. That was one thing I noticed. Even in my hungover state yesterday, and with how craptastic I was playing yesterday, the Bushwhacker still had that tankiness. I was surviving in situations where in any other medium mech I would have been dead. The hitboxes on the Bushwhacker are phenomenal, and again, that tankiness. So going back to the X1, if you are a brand new pilot, the X1 is the one that I would suggest you get into. One energy hardpoint in the CT, and then you've got 4 ballistic hardpoints and 3 missile hardpoints. I was playing around with some really fun builds with this yesterday. This was the last one that I did. 4 machine guns, 3 SRM6s with Artemis. Another build that I really liked. One of my viewers gave it to me when I was doing the stream. You do 2 AC-10s. I think that was all we put on it. 2 AC-10s. Yeah, I think it was 2 AC-10s and just the biggest engine you could get on it. I mean, there's the ballistics on this thing just make it really fun. I can tell you though, with the AC-10s, well, I didn't have the biggest damage match that I had with my X1s. It was the most fun. There's just something. In fact, you know, we'll do an AC-10. We'll do an AC-10 build. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna get 4 tons of ammo on this thing. Feels like I had something else on it, but it might have just been maybe it was the 2 AC-10s. Yeah, that's all it was. It was 2 AC-10s with an XL. Yep, that's what it was. Got another half ton of ammo up here in the head. Actually, we can tone down the armor on this all the way. I do have the armor quirks turned on in the skill tree. With that, you can actually go to Pharaoh. No, you can't. Maybe you can go light Pharaoh. Yeah, you can do light Pharaoh on that, and then take out that half ton, put a full ton in there. Add a little bit of armor to this right arm, so that means we're still a ton under. We can actually ton this up. Turn up the engine. There we go. 2 AC-10s with an XL 275. Now the problem, the one thing that the viewers were pointing out and that I noticed right away, an XL engine. It's not something that I normally recommend for new pilots in medium mechs, because if you're a brand new pilot and you're not aware of this, an inner sphere XL engine will kill you if you lose one side torso. Whereas a Clan XL engine, you'll still live. You'll be slower, but you'll still live. A Clan XL engine and an inner sphere light fusion engine, or LFE, work in pretty much the same way. So normally I recommend using LFEs or standard engines for new pilots. Because an XL engine, if you're not careful, you'll die as soon as you lose a side torso. So that was one build that I was given yesterday, and honestly, I liked it. I mean, having the XL engine in it made me kind of nervous, but there's just something about that satisfaction of hearing those AC-10s. What we'll do is we'll just take this into the testing grounds real quick. Those AC-10s just sound so good. You just feel like you're getting something out of it when you shoot the enemy mech. Now I apologize if there's gonna be a little mic reverb here. I'm not wearing my headphones, I'm using my regular speakers. I'm not getting any desktop audio sound. Interesting, hang on one second. Not sure why it's doing that. Properties. There we go. Alright, that sound. That,
oh geez, it's a bad guy.
That dual AC-10 sound. That's just fun. That is just fun. This mech is kind of squishy with that XL engine in it, but it's fun. And that sound that you get from those dual AC-10s,
AC-130 ready.
It's just fun.
Tactical nuke ready.
So, but the thing about the X1 is it doesn't stop there. Like I said, this X1 just, to me, just seemed like it had the most options for a new pilot. I go back to the mech lab here. Another thing you can do is you can take out the AC-10s, you can take out the XL engine, basically strip the mech, and then you can do LB-10s. LB-10s are a little bit lighter. By doing the LB-10s, we'll put the 5 tons of ammo in it. But now, for the engine, you can get a light engine 255. It'll get you 78.5 with a little bit of speed tweak, which is not terribly slow, but it's not terribly fast either. However, the two LB-10s, that's a lot of splat that you can do from mid-range to short range. It's deadly effective at short range. It's just like 2 big-ass shotguns straight to the face. You get that light engine 255 on there. You might even be able to change the armor to Pharaoh. Nope, can't do it. So you have to stick with the light. Still, doing almost 80 kph, 2 LB-10s. You're not going to die if you lose a side torso. You'll slow down a little bit, but you won't die. Another build you can do. You saw the first one that I did with SRMs and machine guns, but another one if you feel like being cheeky. Let's see, let's do an MRM-20, MRM-20, MRM-20. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll probably be a little too slow. Might have to knock those down to Might have to knock those MRMs down to 10s maybe. And then we'll do this thing. 1, 2 tons of that. Yeah. It's almost there. Just have to add armor to this left arm too to protect that. So I think what I would do here is maybe knock these down to MRM 10s. There we go. Or 2 10s and a 20. Crank up this armor a little bit in this arm. And then engines. Oh, look at this. We are now at a light 300 engine. We still have half a ton available. So that's half a ton of armor that you can either add to the right arm, or you can put some more ammo in it if you don't think 4 tons would be enough for you. Or if the 2 tons of machine gun ammo isn't enough. If you don't think, you can add another half ton, and then you still have a little bit more armor you can put on there. That's just something else you can do if you want to be cheeky, or you can also do like what a lot of new pilots do. You can put lerms on it. You can do 3 lerm 10s. If all you wanted to do, you want to be that kind of pilot, and all you wanted to do was lerms, you might even be able to do a lerm 60, although I don't think that you can't do a lerm 60. You do a lerm 50, but you'll be slow. You'll be so slow. I'd maybe stick with the lerm 30. Put some machine guns on it. Put an engine on there. So I mean, there's just various things that you could do with this build, and you will have fun with it. But that's the Bushwhacker, boys and girls. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into drops and everything with it. Bushwhacker, tanky, maneuverable, great hitboxes, and a lot of different things that you can do with it depending on which particular variant you get. I personally recommend the X1. It's the one I had the most fun with and did the most damage with. If not the X1, I also recommend if you're thinking about getting into more competitive play, playing more of the meta, I highly suggest the P1. You can do the big engine with SRM4s, or you can slow it down a little bit, put SRM6s, maybe add a little Artemis to it, or you can just go straight lerm boat if you're that type of player. But as the community said, though, it's really not going to hurt you depending on which one you get. There were people in stream talking about the P2 with heavy gauze and medium lasers. There was a couple people during the stream that were talking about this one. So, I mean, the community said it doesn't matter which Bushwhacker you get. They're all good. And I'm inclined to believe them. I didn't particularly like the X2. I was not a big fan of the X2, but just because I'm not a big fan of it doesn't mean you won't be. But if you want my recommendation, the X1. Start with that one, then maybe get the P1 or the P2. If you have the money, get the Hero. But if you're doing the free-to-play game mode and you're looking for the best medium, I definitely think the X1. So there you have it, boys and girls. We'll take a look at the numbers one more time. That's how the community voted for the best medium mech. That's what they said about the Bushwhackers overall. And that's basically it. Gonna keep this video short and sweet, boys and girls. Community picked it. I don't disagree. It's a fun mech. I hope you guys have fun with it too. Keep an eye out my YouTube channel. Next week we will have the best light mech for new pilots. But like the assault mech, lights are not something I recommend new pilots start right in with. However, we're still going to cover it. So next week, look for the best light mech for new pilots. I'm going to have a little bit of help on that one as well. Nita Pickle from the 228 IBR is going to come in and give us a little video about light mechs. I'm going to cover a couple of the light mechs as well. We're going to cover a couple of different mechs in that week. If you like this video, click that thumbs up. And while you're here, time to get the laundry. While you're here, click that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, everybody.